What's going on, everyone? My name's Tenebris Infinite, and we're on the cusp of a huge update in December, bringing a new mission that will hopefully bring some answers to one of Generation Zero's greatest mysteries, brand new world revamps, as well as something the community has wanted to see since their first inception. New experimental weapons to use. Today, we're going to focus on those new EXPs coming our way and talk about why this is going to be huge for GZ, and possibly will shift around entire loadouts and the meta as a whole. As always, if you enjoy what I do, a simple thumbs up goes a huge way in helping me reach the entire GZ community. So, let's let Pano take things away here with the title for this upcoming update.
Next up is in December will be a new kind of cool update that we will actually call Dangerous Experiments. Ooh, and what's gonna be in that is already kind of in that roadmap. It's gonna be some very cool stuff that everyone is gonna start seeing later when we start showing off that.
The potential for what form these new experimentals could take is anyone's guess, but the fact is they will be awesome as long as they live up to the radical nature of our past experimentals, with obscene power-ups that turn our ordinary Joe guns into tools of utter destruction. So, I'd like to instead go over the guns I'm really hoping we'll see as experimentals in the next update. Ultimately, I'm hoping for all of our weapons to get EXP-ified, but if I had to choose, then these are the guns I'd like to see personally. The first weapon I'd like to see as an experimental is the AI-76. We do already have the AG-4 for 762 in this game, but still having a new gun to kind of mess around with 762 would be cool, and there's a lot of cool things the team could do with the AI. But kind of a little bit more so is the AG5. I'd really like to see what the team will do with 556, and I feel like the AG5 deserves a serious buff in this game, and the experimental update will be a perfect method of doing so. Then we've got the Herkfist, which, as a semi-auto shotgun, there's just so much potential for what you could do with this, from Dragon's Breath rounds to maybe giving it a hyper burst or something like that. So I'm really excited to see what will come of the Herkfist, if it does come around to this update. Then we have the ALG, and again, for both of the sniper rifles, I'm really excited to see what's going to come from them. With the PVG being the ultimate top tier weapon, I'm kind of hoping that one of these sniper rifles will at least live up to the PVG, so that way we could broaden our sniper options in this game a little bit more efficiently. Again, what these weapons could have is anyone's guess, but I'm just hoping whatever it is, it'll hit like a truck. And then for the last two weapons I'd like to see, the number one sidearm would be the Magnus. I guess we don't really have a different sidearm to really choose. I guess there would be the Bowler, but I'm really hoping that the Magnus will have like some sort of a really cool kind of experimental upgrade to it. And then also the Bronbolt Bat, with the experimental sledge being one of the most interesting experimental weapons. I'm really hoping for a little bit more of that with our other mainstay melee weapon. But the big thing I'm hoping for from this, more than the experimental weapons themselves, is that their experimental abilities will live up to the predecessors. Not just in terms of raw power, but also in terms of adding something interesting to the mix. The way experimental weapons blend with experimental ammo to create new abilities is really awesome, and so beyond what these can do on their own, there's going to be a lot of potential in having new experimental synergy between ammo types and weapons. The way this shook up the EXP game in the past was excellent, taking the experimental AG4 from being the third strongest EXP to a tie with the PVG for first. The fact that in this update, we'll not only have new weapons that can have powerful abilities, but also new uses for our experimental ammo is just so damn hype. With the AG5 in mind, its heat ammo is a sleeper hit, and so disgusting already. If we see the AG5 get a really good buff, then it could become one of the most powerful weapons when blended with its experimental ammo. Or the ALG with its shock. If we have piercing shock ammo like the PVG blended with the AG4, dude, that's it, man. It's never leaving my loadout. Now, I know a lot of people want to see experimental DLC weapons, but sadly that likely will not happen with this update. But it could absolutely happen in the future if that's something the devs want to do. It does create a heck of a gap between base game weapons and DLC weapons that will maybe need to be closed up somehow. Unless if DLC weapons just remain as more of a fun option than one you can seriously use. At least without having some vastly superior option in our new experimentals. Though, I think the discussion of experimental DLC guns can be left for 2023 here. For now, we have a potentially massive upgrade coming to our arsenals that is going to be taking my whole focus. I love the emergent gameplay we get from EXPs, so I'm going to sink a lot of time into them, seeing if I could find new tech and new tactics for us to use. Also, small aside, but the brutal irony that it took me so long to get a Reaper in the Archipelago, and then the moment I take him down, I get my second Reaper in the Archipelago. When it rains, it pours, man. But either way, let's get back on topic here. What do you guys think about this new experimental update that's going to be coming our way? The Dangerous Experiments update is going to be coming out December 24th, right on Christmas Day, so it's going to be Generation Zero's Christmas present to us. But I want to know all of your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below. Personal hopes for experimentals, maybe ideas for experimental types. Let it all sound off in the comments down below. But for now, I want to say thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you all in the next one. Until then, peace.